Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Dr. Giggles, with my sidekick,
DJ Legend.
All right, sorry for a little delay. YouTube was acting pretty dumb. I don't know what happened. It locked up. I have bandwidth. The kids are tied up in the closet. They can't use their devices. So they're good. I got duct tape on them, blindfolded. I wrapped them up with bungee cords. They're hanging from the ceiling. They're like yo-yo. They're trying to have Matrix fights right now in the closet. So anyway, so we had a great nor'easter.
Absolutely.
I've been going since about 2010.
This is my fourth.
So maybe not. I don't know. Either 2009 or 2010.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, I want to say 2009. But regardless, it was definitely the best one that I've ever been to.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to also talk about some news. There's I'm sure you know about it, but there's a new Google Chat with New England.
Yep.
There's going to be a new one of them we're going to talk about.
Yep, that was announced in a little slip of paper that was in a little goodie bag that that the park gave everybody at the tail end of Nor'easter.
And I'm not going to play any videos today, but as soon as I go in the house, I'm going to upload all the presentations and that lovely, and I'm not even making fun of it, I loved it, was the I Won a Golden Ticket little dance routine thing they did with the Cyclone retiree guy.
Oh, yeah. That was funny.
I recorded that. I keep saying videotape because that's what I'm used to.
Yep.
I'm not used to this digital age crap. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about upcoming events. And a little place. I'm going to this little place next Wednesday. You know, out in Carolina. In the Carolinas, North and South. There's something going on next Wednesday. And we're going to talk about that, too.
I have a sneaky suspicion of what it is.
Yeah, I think you know sneaky. But anyway, so we're going to start off with the news. We're going to just warm up. Because I know some people probably went, oh, they're not coming on or whatever. And just to warm up. And, guys, don't forget, chime in like you always do in the chat. Because that also helps progress the show into some crazy stuff. It does. Sometimes we get in some crazy discussions and don't even get to finish everything we're talking about. And then we're going to talk about events. We're going to get into that after all that and so on and so forth. But I'm going to start with Busch Gardens Williamsburg has a season pass preview day Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember what day is it. I think it's Saturday. Maybe Friday. I don't know. I forgot what day it is. But it's this weekend.
Yep.
If you go to the San Marco Theater by 11 a.m., and if you're one of 750 people, you get there's going to be a special announcement. This is at Williamsburg, Virginia. So my sneaking suspicion is that is when they're going to announce, is what people have been calling the Giant Garden Project, which is really the new coaster. So I'm assuming, and you know what happens when you assume. Mm-hmm. Make an ass out of you and me.
Oh, yeah.
But I am under the sneaking suspicion that they're going to announce the coaster there. I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm hoping. And you know how we get in the emails from Six Flags? Whichever ones you subscribe to?
Yep.
You get those newsletters?
Mm-hmm.
Great Adventures came out today.
Wow.
So, because their opening weekend starts Easter weekend is when their opening is.
Yep. They are actually opening on Good Friday, if my calendar serves me right.
Yes, I think it is.
Yep.
I think it is. But in any case, the only one little tidbit. Obviously, they were opening. The only tidbit of things that I saw that maybe people want to do that weekend because it's Easter weekend. They have an Easter egg hunt, April 4th and 5th. For those people that like to enjoy Easter egg hunts. I'm so over the whole... Actually, I was over the whole Easter egg hunt thing when I was a kid. I mean, I know people... It's a religious holiday filled with religious stuff and eggs and bunnies, which doesn't make any sense. What does an Easter egg have to do with a bunny and candy? It's supposed to be a religious... What is it? The birth and the death of Christ.
Rising from the dead,
actually. Okay, so he's rising from the dead. He's rising from the... See, I'm not a religious guy, so I don't know the story. But I don't understand what they have to do with each other. I honestly have to say I hate Easter. I'm not religious. and I totally hate the whole Easter egg thing. But my kids love the Easter egg thing because when they go to my parents' house, my parents do not put candy in the eggs; they put money in the eggs.
Wow.
So, what?
Nor'easter. Breaking news, we have an email from Russ saying he has 4 leftover Nor'easter t-shirts.
The one I'm wearing.
Ever official one of the season. I already have mine. He has 2 extra large and 2 extra large. If you reply to the email, assuming you got it, and with what size you like, and assuming you get it before anybody else, it will be yours for $10.
$10. Email Russ. That's 2X, or what is it? Or XL?
2XL or 2XL.
Oh, okay. So they have 2XLs and 2XLs.
Yep.
So if you want those, by all means, email Russ. They're $10 plus shipping. Like this guy
Actually, you can only get it if you got the email from Russ. You have
Yeah.
to actually because you have to reply to his email in order to get it.
Yeah.
So if you did not get it, you are SOL.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw the email that came the other day.
I actually read one this morning, or it was either this morning or yesterday morning. I can't remember about how people were asking for leftovers goodies.
Yeah, people were asking, and wasn't it coincidence last week I said when I had that discussion about proper park etiquette?
Yep.
And then, see, people need to watch the show. More people, because I guarantee you the people that ask don't watch my show.
Mm-hmm.
Because I specifically said,
don't be asking for stuff.
Don't be asking for stuff because then you look like an idiot.
Exactly.
If you snooze, you lose. I mean, people ask me for stuff, and I was like, dude, you didn't go, we can't get it, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, oh, I'll get one for you. This ain't the Oprah show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of which, I forgot to bring him in here. I talked to Six Flags,
mm-hmm.
and I said, hey, do you have old promotional stuff that we can give away for contests?
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me a nice, good-sized, plastic Six Flags bag full of old promotional stuff. Old park maps, old media day kits, stuff like that. So, and I also said we were going to talk about contests too. We're going to come up with some contests. Actually, I got 2 contests. Mm-hmm. Well, one, but I want to create a new logo, and I mean a good logo, so we can make T-shirts and stuff, even Christmas ornaments or whatever. There's giveaways. You know, I can get stuff cheap made, and we can give them away. Use it as a tax write-off. That's all. But in any case, so I want to create the rules. Now, I know there are some autistic people out there. Now, I know we did this before.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to take it a step above what we had. Because I also want on this logo, keep on coasting.
Yep.
Because that's our motto that you came up with.
Yep.
That's the motto of the show, keep on coasting.
Yep.
So.
The slogan, anyway.
Yeah, the slogan, the motto.
The catchphrase.
Yeah. I mean, now you know what? We're going to announce we're going to talk about it right now. We're going to just create our own rules and what we want on this logo right here, right now, this second. Forget the news for a second.
Sounds good.
This is going to be confusing. I don't know, because you're going to hear 20 million things. So we're going to all brainstorm right now, and then we'll officially make it. So now it has to say, keep on coasting on the shirt.
I would say put that towards the bottom.
Yeah, put it underneath the logo.
Yep.
Now, think about what the Grove Show is.
Yep.
It is a news site, for the most part for New England, but we cover everything.
Yep.
So maybe we should make it New England related, because that's what we are.
Mm-hmm.
We are New England related. That'd be number 2. It's got to be New England related. Don't make it of an actual photo of a coaster, because we could probably get in trouble if we're going to put it on a shirt. Mm-hmm. We could, maybe. Also, we should have, what we have, like what I'm looking at on that screen right there.
Yep.
That's good, but
that's kind of a little generic lettering. Basically, it's pretty much the same as same style as the titles page on the forum.
Yeah. So we want something. We want something that's more than just words. Because the only words that should be on this is the Grove Show and keep on coasting. but something. I don't know what that something is. That's up to you guys to make. And the winner of the
Instead of that, but that gives me an idea though. If you wanted to put some type of coaster image on it, if you have any way to make some type of graphic of one, something like that, that would be okay. But just be
it has
careful
to
not
be distinguished of what it is.
Yep.
Because even though I love what Pete's design was on the original shirts,
Yep.
it was hard to make out that it was a coaster.
Mm-hmm.
So make it distinguished as a coaster. So we'll do that. So you guys come up with it. And what's the date? The 17th. Let's say, when is? Let me look at a calendar here.
How about giving them till opening day, or
Well,
maybe a little after.
the show after opening day.
All right.
So let's see what. Where are we? April 11th. So that would be April 16th is going to be the deadline.
So
Yes,
that'll be
that's
the
what Lugo
Thursday
said.
night. Yep.
Logo has to include only royalty-free images and
Yep.
illustrations.
Basically, either stuff you take yourself or something that's in the public domain.
Yes.
Can't be anything that's copyrighted, obviously.
Yeah. So, don't use Superman or
Yep.
Bizarro or something like that. Because then
Or if
you'll
you
have...
wanted to use a picture of it, that's fine. Just don't include any logos or
Well,
anything.
because this is what I'm going to do. Make it one color.
Yep.
Instead of taking a picture of Bizarro getting all the colors.
Mhm.
Because the more colors you add makes the t-shirts really expensive.
Oh yeah.
So maybe we'll get like black shirts made with white lettering.
Mm-hmm.
So think about that when you're making this. Or we could do white shirts with black lettering.
Mhm.
I want to do one color because then it makes it cheap, especially if we're going to give them away.
Yep. Basically, something that contrasts the
White or
background.
black.
Yep.
White or
The
black.
image has to contrast the background, obviously, so you can see it.
So the deadline will be the 16th. We'll put something in the forums about it. And, to kind of refresh everybody's memory, we'll put it on on the Facebook pages and stuff like that.
Yep.
So there you go. We just announced the contest. But the winner's going to get a T-shirt mailed to them.
Yep.
The winner will get a T-shirt of that design. Unless I meet up with you, we'll figure out how to get it to you when that time comes. Because it could be an event coming up and I can bring it to you or I can mail it to you. Whatever. Yeah, if you don't know, you're not old enough to be up this late. I like that.
Public domain is anything with no copyright or if the copyright has expired. Usually a copyright is only good for 75 years.
Actually,
So-
you know what copyright is up and it's not 75 years? The original Night of the Living Dead.
Wow.
That copyright is up. It's in the domain.
So the copyright has expired on it, which
Yep.
puts it in the public domain.
So anybody can make... That's why there's so many remakes of it.
Oh wow.
Because it's in the public domain. Actually, Star Wars is close to hitting public domain.
How is that? Because that's nowhere near 7five years old.
I think movies is 25 or 30 or something.
Maybe.
Something like that. It's all...
I
The
can
original...
picture a movie being 50.
The original Star Wars movie I heard was close to, you know what I mean? Like, it was big talk because they're like, oh, what's going to happen? But I think Disney can stop that, though. They own Star Wars.
Well, apparently they must have bought the rights to it from George Lucas.
They own it all. George
Wow.
Lucas owns nothing.
Wow.
He's done with Star Wars.
Interesting.
You didn't know that?
No, I
No,
didn't.
he washed his hands of Star Wars.
Interesting.
Well, it is interesting because now Disney's doing it. And sometime, I think, you ever hear of D23? That's like the official Disney fan club that I think Disney made.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a convention every so often, or every year, or every other year. No, I think it's every year. Or every other year. Whatever, regardless.
Yep. Somebody's watching who decides they want a T-shirt with your face on it.
No, because then people would go blind. People would free. I'm like Medusa. You look at me, you turn to stone.
Then how come I'm not?
Because you've been around me so much, you're desensitized to the stone thing. All right, let's get back to the news. So that's the contest. Keep looking around, and we'll keep upping the thing. All right. Remember how I told? It was a couple shows ago somebody told me this. So this is rumor. It's not. I don't know how true it is because I can't confirm this.
According to Costa Kev, every new movie renews the image copyright, so most of the Star Wars stuff is actually will stay copyrighted until 2050.
Oh Jesus! All right, so good. We don't have to worry about that.
Right.
All right. Remember when I was talking about the long Pirates of the Caribbean rehab going on? This is rumor because I can't confirm it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to confirm this. But and I remember this story that has to go with this. Remember when we talked about it too? Some guy lost some fingers on it. We talked about this last year. I know we did. As I remember, I kept screaming, how do you lose your fingers on the ride? Well, anyway, from what I was told today, that the reason for the rehab is they're going to change the clearances on the ride, and they're not going to change any scenes. They're probably going to change the boats, and they're going to change the clearances so that doesn't happen again. Wow. That's why it's a lengthy rehab. But nothing of the ride itself is changing in terms of everything. The ride stays the same. The boat will change, I guess, and what do you call it? The boat and the clearances around the ride. So that's why, supposedly at this moment, which is kind of messed up. But that again, that's like public safety, safety. General public is stupid. I mean, we were all GP at one time. Mm-hmm. Some of us have common sense, some of us don't. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the way you look at it is, hey, see, that's why don't stick your fingers where they don't belong. You get them, you lose them.
Yep.
All right. So what were you gonna say?
I can. What I was going to say was something that came up at Norista, but if you want to finish doing news, I can wait till that.
No. You can talk about it.
On that note, though, one of our pals who actually goes to Great Adventure a lot, Frank Amadel, he lives in New York. He actually did a PowerPoint presentation during Norista on coaster safety, and basically a lot of stuff he touched on is about how anytime there's a roller coaster accident or any other amusement ride accident, it makes national news. And the reason, basically, for ratings. Because, it's very rare that an amusement park ride malfunctions and injures or kills somebody. So, where that is so rare, that's why it becomes national news, because all the media wants to get high ratings for covering it. And because where car crashes happen all the time, nobody really covers them too much.
Now, the only thing I personally did not like about his presentation, and a lot of other people did not, when Frank mentioned about adding seatbelts to rides that don't have them. You know what I mean? Like if you got the over-the-shoulder, adding seatbelts, I don't like that.
Some parts of that did seem a little excessive. Case in point, a lot of your B&M Megas that have the ratcheting T-bars on them, like Nitro, and I assume Fury 325 is going to be the same style, except that even though that's a Giga, that's still a B&M, basically the same way, and that's going to have the ratcheting clamshells as well. The manufacturer,
I call them belly pillows.
That's a good name for them. Yep. Those actually, because there's not really a lot of uplift on those, or what we refer to as airtime. You don't really need the seat belts in addition to them. Even though the Cedar Fair parks, have actually installed them on a couple of them after the Texas Giant accident. They installed them on Diamondback, and I heard a story about them installing them on one other one. I think it was at Carowinds.
Oh, it might have been Intimidator. Maybe, I don't know.
Could be. Yep.
I don't know.
But even though they don't really need them, that still did not detract from my experience when we were at SpringCon last season on that, too.
Yeah, I think it was just the placement of the seatbelt. Mm-hmm. Because they were so huge. Mm-hmm. They didn't make it so it restricted people. Mm-hmm. They just made it to make it look like it was extra safe. Mm-hmm. Because people are stupid. It was like the whole JCPenney thing. Mm-hmm. I use that as an example because I work for them and I know, well, not work for them, but do work for them. Mm-hmm. When they had the meltdown and when people stopped going and were going in debt and almost shutting down. You know why? they got rid of the coupons. That were in the, that are in the ads.
Mm-hmm.
This is how stupid women are. I know I hate to sound sexist, but this just proves how stupid women are. JCPenney goes, no more coupons. We're giving you the deal right from the get-go. There's no... Because they didn't have a coupon, they stopped going. JCPenney brought back the coupon. People started going. The women started going again. And then they started making money again.
Basically, so in other words, all these shoppers who stopped going there was because they took away a gimmick.
Exactly. Because women like to feel that they got a deal. If they don't have that paper in their hand, they don't feel they got a deal. That's what that whole JCPenney fiasco was about. A friggin' coupon.
Interesting.
But anyways, the same thing. People got scared with Texas Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Lady falls out.
Yep.
Let's add a seatbelt in, even though it's not constricting in any way. Because I rode Diamondback with the seatbelt.
Yep.
It didn't bother me. It didn't.
Yep. It didn't bother me. It didn't really take any extra time at all.
No. They were
with it was really fast, and not to mention Cedar Fair Park's operations really rock, so they've always kept things going.
Yeah. All right, so now this is the last tidbit of news, and then we'll get into Nor'easter.
Mm-hmm.
The Six Flags New England, and on the piece of paper, but I got an email about it today. Everybody's invited to go to the live Google chat. Here's your information. June 17th. Mark your calendar. June 17th, 7 p.m. I have a link. I've already posted it. And there's a Q&A. It says, feel free to submit questions directly to Jen. And there's guest speakers you will have to wait and see. It's the funny thing. I mean, the thing about I like with this current management versus old management of New England, they're a little bit more open to tell you things than past. You know what I mean? They were like, I ain't telling you nothing.
Oh, yeah.
They'll slowly give you information where before it was like, you got to wait for the announcement when we make an announcement, and that's it. We ain't giving you no hints, no clues, no nothing.
Yep.
Now they're willing. You know what it is? I think that they see the value in telling us, telling GP, because what does it do? It brings hype to the ride. Like, look at Carowinds with Fury 325. There is so much hype with that.
Yep.
But I think eventually the hype's going to die after people. And I'm not saying it's going to be bad at all. I'm just saying I think it's, especially with Golden Ticket Awards, they get announced around Riding of the Bull. Usually while we're at Riding of the Bull is when we're hit with everybody's looking on their phones to see who won. That's usually when it is.
Yep.
So
in fact, they probably were announced at the last one, and I found out I didn't really follow up on them because of the events that night there. But I read them the next morning, and that's when I got the sticker shock about how. What the hell was that? Flying Turns beat out Banshee for best new attraction.
Well, we've talked about why I believe why.
Yep, because it's kind of a one of a kind. Because basically it's a one of a kind.
Yeah, because all the ones that were built have all been torn down. Matter of fact, I read up, Rocky Point had one a million years ago, way before my time, way early 20s, 30s.
A wooden bobsled style?
Yeah, they had the wooden bobsled style back in the 20s, 30s there. So I think the reason why Flying Turns had won Best New Attraction is because it took them 7 years. They built it, and I'll give Knoebels the award for doing something, bringing something back from the dead. Now, I'm not saying that took anything away from Banshee, because Banshee is my favorite inverted coaster right now. That's, like I said, was it last week or the week before? There are no losers. You hit the top 5 in them tickets, you're a winner. I know the parks want. New England made it a point to go, we want the golden ticket, but I feel if you hit the top 5 for best new attractions, you won. There might be 7 attractions that I've never seen a ballot. This year I will for the first time. But I feel that if you're in the top 5, you won, because there's so much hype. It's like I said before, there's so much hype this year with all these new rides. You got Fury, you got Wicked Cyclone, you got Twisted Colossus,
Yep.
You got Batman the ride.
Mm-hmm.
You got the 2 indoor rides.
Yep.
You got Thunderbird.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be, the coasters are going to get more hyped than the dock ride, unfortunately. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to those dock rides because it's the DC universe. It's Justice League. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody finally made a ride like that with the guns and bang, bang, shoot, shoot, bing, bing.
Yep.
You know, I think that's cool. So you're going to have there's so much hype around Holiday World and, all these parks. All it's going to do is there's a battle.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the parks. It's to see who's got the bigger, what.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the end,
basically, in other words, once that battle is over, the novelty will kind of wear off.
Yeah. On top of that, but I mean, all the parks are going to see a huge uptick in attendance. They're going to be making money hand over fist.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because people are going to be traveling. Even though I notice, and it's funny, and I'm shocked at this, I'm seeing more hate towards Twisted Colossus than any of the other coasters. And I think a lot of people are upset that they've cut the track length in half. It kind of becomes a coaster like Racer at Kennywood, only a steel version. And if you watch the POV, granted there are some cool elements on that, but it looks like there's some areas of the ride where it's not bang bang, constant go. You kind of get a little break, and then it does something. Then you get a little break, and then you go. I mean, that's all fine and good. I'm sure it's going to be fun, but like I said, I'm biased. Wicked Cyclone, home park. Sorry.
Yep. Well, that kind of goes without saying because you're always more pumped up for whatever's going on at your home park because you don't have to travel as far to experience it.
It could be a little tugboat ride for 5-year-olds, and I'll still get excited because it's at my home park.
Yep. Well, I think that's on that note there. I think people are actually going to be coming true with them retheming the Route 66 cars too.
Yeah, I mean,
anti-car ride.
I mean, it was funny when I went to East Coaster and they announced, Wild Wheels. There was like instant hate. The instant I posted it, it was like instant hate because, and I get it, and we've talked about it. Route 66. Classic antique car ride.
Yep.
Now you're taking that away and you're retheming it to Jungle Ride, and I'm all for it. I'll be honest. I'm not mad about it. I love antique cars. I'm not even mad about it. I can still ride it, and it gives me a new experience with a whole new theme. I get it. There's a lot of purists that want to keep antique cars antique cars.
Yep.
Now, what could be worse? They rip it out, and you lose the ride. I'd rather them do that, keep the ride, and I'll still ride it. You don't lose. You might lose the theme that you want, and that's fine. You don't ride it. Stay out of the line so I don't have to wait in it so long. Because now you're going to get more families. Because now, so far right now, Wicked Cyclone's looking like a 48-inch height requirement, which is awesome.
Yep.
It takes away the 54-inch, but it's still going to be a badass coaster. It's going to be... I mean, we saw it in person.
Yep.
That thing, it's a beautiful merge of wood and metal, and it's beautiful looking. I can't wait to ride it. I even sent a thank you email to Jen McGrath, Jen Mance, Kyle Kroger, saying, hey, thanks for everything you did. Blew me away. Because now we're going to get into, because my next tidbit is Nor'easter, so we're going to talk about that. So what we're going to, between me, Larry and I's experience, and then, we'll talk more about it. Now, what I got out for my notes was, I was actually the first coaster enthusiast to use the Oculus Rift version of the Wicked Cyclone. For those that don't know what Oculus Rift is, it's what's become, they have Morpheus Oculus Rift, and somebody else is making one, but it's virtual reality. And you put on these weird goggles, and I felt a little, did you try it out?
No, actually I didn't get to.
Oh my God! I felt a little disorientated, but they say the first few times you put this on and use it, you're going to get headaches, you're going to feel disorientated, dizzy and stuff, because you're going to get used to it. So they say the first few times don't use it a lot, because it's going to mess you all up. Well, anyway, so basically it is a virtual ride of Wicked Cyclone, and the cool thing about it is I found myself turning into turns. It was like that realistic.
Wow.
You could actually turn around and see the rest of the train behind you.
Wow.
You could look over the front of the car, which I do not recommend you do when you really ride.
Well, you wouldn't be able to anyway because you're held down by the.
Well, you know how there are some stupid people that would try.
Yep.
You could look over the front and see the ground and anything. They didn't have much in there, they said, because if they started putting all the rides in,
Yep.
it looked like almost like a parking lot with a few buildings around the ride. They
Yep.
said then it starts getting jittery, the program.
Oh
So
yeah.
they couldn't put a lot around the ride to make it.
More intense, more graphics you have, the more intensive it is.
But I
on
mean,
the
it
process.
really felt like I was riding it. They had a cushion that the seat vibrated to make it feel like you were riding it.
Wow.
The only thing that messed me up was I was going like this and I couldn't see my hands in it. I'm going, where's my hands? But I was literally the first. I mean, the people at the park have tried it out. But I was the first person there that was not a Six Flags employee that tried it out.
Wow.
So that's what the kid said anyway. I forgot I feel like a jerk because I can't remember the guy's name. But he is actually a big fan of the show. He watches it. I really feel bad. I can't remember his name, but then again, I can't remember half the stuff anymore. But so the Oculus Rift thing was cool. I mean, there was a rumor going around that they were going to use the station by Cyclone as an Oculus Rift thing where people could ride it, use that, but that's not true because that's becoming a locker area for Cyclone. Now, I did get confirmation. We all know new restraints on Mind Eraser.
Yep.
These are not the new style restraints. These are the same restraints as what they currently have on, just new. For maintenance, that beat up or whatever. So then it's new of the same. It's not the one. It's not like the style like at Hershey Park on the Boomerang.
Sidewinder.
Yeah, and it's not like Maurice Pier Nor'easter Coaster. It's not that style, which I wish it was.
Oh, that would be really good if they could do that. Though.
Yeah, I mean, it would. I don't.
The best style.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, last year though, I did not get any headbanging on the ride, which usually I used to always. I used to always feel like a pinball machine.
That thing. Basically, that has been typical of a lot of Tacomas. Anytime those things do play ping pong with your head.
Yeah. So, but I mean, last year, knock on wood, and hopefully for this year, I don't have that issue. I didn't have it. I actually could. I just kept my head back.
Yep. And
I hands up and stuff like that, and I was good. No headaches, no banging, no nothing.
Yep.
So it was good for me.
On Goliath's old one, what I kind of took a cue from your playbook there, and what I did was I held my head to one side of one of them.
Yeah, I mean that works too. As you can see, we got a free T-shirt when we checked in.
Yep.
I still don't know who sprang for those. I don't know if it was the park or if it was Rush who had them made. I don't know who did it. I'm assuming it was the park, not. They talked about Wild Wheels. They talked about smooth like cactus.
That's smooth like cactus. Yeah, that sounds about right. And Luco claims that nobody told him it was there until after the event was over. So apparently he was living under a rock or not paying attention to what you were telling him.
Yeah, I told him. I told him like twice. I kept asking if he wrote it. And Jen McGrath even said it a few times. And he was sitting right there.
Yep.
Now, what's the name of that Ace Award that Pete Flaherty won for New England?
I can't remember. Something to do.
It's like the spirit of the Ace Award that PTC does for Ace during Con, but it's for New England. And you can nominate people. So I would love people to nominate me. I like to win it for one. I want to win an award. Nominate me. Nominate me. See, I don't know. I'm going to solicit votes to be nominated for that. I would love to. I just want to win an award. I feel left out. I don't know. But it has to be somebody that does a lot for the region.
Oh, yeah.
You know, volunteering, helping Ace in a way.
Yep.
See, I do. I volunteer. I don't go to every New England event, but I go to a lot of them. But in any case, also, they had some pretty decent food. They had the sandwiches and wraps. Those were pretty good. And they had the cheeseburger chowder. Did you try that?
I did not try it, but
that was
Tina did
good.
It
was delicious. It tasted like a cheeseburger in a cup.
Yep.
It was good.
Spirit of New England or Spirit of Ace, one of those two is the one that Pete won, according to Costa Cal.
And the funny thing was, Pete wasn't even there to accept it. He was out skiing. But he was supposed to be there. He ended up not going, and then he went skiing instead.
Yep.
What a stinker. So for all those out there, yes, I'm soliciting. I'm soliciting nominations. You got to email Russ.
Yep.
You have to email Russ, and then just tell him that I deserve it next year. Maybe if we get enough people to do that, maybe I can win. That's such like a jerk move. So if you do it, don't tell him I told you to do it. Even though this is recording.
Even though
and
he's going to find out if he watches a clip of this.
Yeah. Be like, oh, that stinker. That stinker. They'll disqualify me.
Yep.
So don't nominate me. Wink, wink. All right, so what else? We did get a tour of Wicked Cyclone. We got to take pictures. We got to see the train. The train looks awesome. Mm-hmm. It looks like the restraint system, in a way, is similar in a way to Bizarro-esque.
It actually is nearly identical to the one on Outlaw Run, with the exception of it actually does have little, not cut, it does actually have little shapes molded into it to accommodate your thighs, so it won't press down against them. And it does also have seat belts that are nearly identical to your typical Intimate, like Bizarro.
Oh, so I should be able to fit on it, no problem.
Yep.
Matter of fact, you want to hear something messed up? I lost 7 pounds overnight.
Wow.
I think Luco said I must have pooped it out. I don't know.
I can picture it.
I don't know what. I didn't do anything different than any other day. Yes, I gained a lot of weight in the off season. Before the off season, I was 218. Mm-hmm. I jumped to 244. Now I'm down to 236.
Wow.
So I just need a couple more big poops and I'll be back to normal. I think I'm like backed up maybe. I don't know. Why do we always talk about poop? I notice when we're always together, we're always talking about poop. Why?
Either that or talking about methane.
Yeah, farts. Poop and, yeah, but you know what? Poop and farts are funny. I don't care what anybody says. Poop and farts are funny. Even burps sometimes. So, Wicked Cyclone, I did take a picture. So I had somebody take a picture of me picking the nose. I think you were there.
Yep.
I was picking the nose on the front of the car.
The figurehead that was on the front.
So I was picking his nose. I wanted him to pick me a winner, pick a winner. So we got to see that. And the cool thing that we got to do was sign wood that it's going to be put into the station.
Yep.
So anybody that was at the event got to sign these 2x4s or 4x, whatever big they are.
Yep, and they're going to spray coat it or coat it with polyurethane so that way it doesn't wash off.
And then our names.
So we will be immortal. Those of us who were there and signed that block of wood, it will be on display in the station, and our names will be immortalized.
Yep, those pieces of wood are probably there long after we're dead.
Yep.
And I signed it, Joshua Martins, The Grove Show.
Yep.
I signed it that way. So The Grove Show will be immortalized after its death.
Yep.
Even it'll just be there forever. People will be like, what the hell's The Grove Show? Let me type that into YouTube. Even if it's still around. So we did that. We also, after when we were touring, the last thing that we did, and this was towards the end of the day, they put us in the theater.
Yep. And
they had cookies and brownies and milk, and I felt like it was Christmas. I was waiting to sit on Santa's lap. They had that, and then, they were taking questions and talking. And then they showed the video of Cyclone retiring. I love that video. It's the second time I saw that.
I've seen that once before, too.
I love it. They showed it at East Coaster. Yep. I love that video. I think it's so funny. And then, they did the normal setup.
Yep.
Oh, what about the golden ticket? And then here comes Cyclone guy retiring, singing the Willy Wonka song. Yep. I got a golden ticket. Well, I want a golden ticket, but I do have that. It's actually on my phone. I recorded it with my phone because my video camera battery died.
Oh, wow.
So I got that. I have Canopy Lake, Six Flags New England, Lake Compounds, presentations. I did take some pictures of Cyclone, and I'm going to put the videos up for your viewing pleasure. For those that didn't go, if you want to relive the news, relive the moments of Nor'easter.
I have a couple of clips that I took, a couple of random clips that I took of people asking what they thought of it too. I just pulled them off my phone right before the show. I'm going to edit them together and then I will hightail them to you, send the replacement of You Send It,
Yeah.
the sequel to that, and then you can upload them as well.
Yeah, we can upload them up there. Everybody can look at them, have a good laugh, whatever. And then they gave us a goodie bag.
Yep.
Actually, before we left, they gave us, before we went out, we got a gift. It's a Wicked Cyclone air freshener. I don't know how good you can see it or not. Let me see if let me look in here. Let me put it up. You can't really see it that good. Hang on, you know what I want to do? Whoa, no, I'm not. I want to trip. Look at that screen and see if I need to move up or. Is that too close?
Back up just about 6 inches, right there.
It's an air freshener.
Yep.
I'm opening this on Media Day.
There you go.
It's gonna hang for Media Day. And also inside the bag, the gift bag, was if I can get this out, a pencil. That's a messed up pencil. Even though it's kind of cool, I gotta erase it.
Yep.
Go like that. But on it says Six Flags New England on one side, and then it says Wicked Cyclone, Wood Meets Steel, 2015. So I'll probably never use this. Just keep it on my shelf.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I die, my kids will inherit all my junk. And there was an exit pass inside the bag.
Yep.
Some girly lip balm again.
Mm-hmm.
And as before, if you look behind Larry, at East Coaster, this is what we got at East Coaster. You know, nothing special. I wrote Cyclone, SFNE, when I got it. February 6, 15. So nothing special about this, right? Nothing special? No. Well,
but they did actually take that to a new level with this little goodie right here.
Yeah, and it says, I'm going to do this again. I know I keep moving around. For those that haven't seen the pictures, you must be living under a rock. Is it too close? Is it good?
Go a little closer. Good, right there.
All right, so as you can see, it says 1983 Cyclone transformed to Wicked Cyclone 2015. Now that's cool.
Yep.
I mean, when I saw that there was a piece of wood, I was like, oh, now I got two pieces of wood with nothing on it. I didn't look until I got. Actually, I was walking out of the park, and then I said, let me just look at it. Maybe they stamped it or something. And golly gee, they did.
I took a peek inside the bag right when we were on the way out, and that's when I saw what we got as well.
So, yeah. So now I have two exit passes. So my plan is, I know this sounds like being such a jerk. There's other words I like to use, but I'm just going to use jerk. Just take the worst thing you could say of what after I say what I'm going to say. I'm going to use one for a night ride, obviously.
Yep.
The other one is, I'm purposely going to go on a very busy day when the line's like 3 hours long, and I'm going to hold out my exit pass and go, see you later, guys. Enjoy that 3-hour line. I'm going right on.
Yep.
I'll sell you a spot for $100.
And you can bring 3 people with you.
Yep, I can bring 3 people with me. So I got to find 3 people. Actually, I'll just charge like $50 a head. Be like, hey, you want to wait 3 hours or do you want to skip the line? It's a good way to make some dough.
Yep.
So we got all those goodies.
Yep. During the presentation part 2, we actually had a rep from the Great Escape present some stuff to us as well with some upcoming things for the season, and everybody who was there also got a free ticket to go to the Great Escape this year.
And a bumper sticker of what it used to be called before it was
Storytown.
Yeah, it was Storytown. So it looks old and stuff like that. So that's cool. They did talk about the apartment building in there. So that's cool. Can It Be Lake teased us with something that was nothing. A Whirly Cup.
A Whirly Cup, yep.
Yeah, ended up being a Whirly Cup. Lake Compounds talked about their dinosaurs. New England talked about, the bottle and the enclosed. I mean, they were really quick with their presentation. They wanted to get us out. They wanted us to see Cyclone. I mean, I think that's why they went all out.
Yep.
One, because there's, they're building up hype. I think they're building it correctly. Because you look at Fury 25, because it's so close, it's like bam, 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 bam. We're trying to get the word out. We want it. And I think in the end, it's going to lose its longevity towards the Golden Ticket Award. You know what I mean? It's gonna be too. It's not going to be close enough. Rides like Twisted Colossus, Even Batman the Ride's probably going to have that. Well, they might not. I think the ones that are going to really be hyping it up, I don't think Batman the Ride has a chance of getting first. I hate to say that, but it could. I mean, nobody knows. These golden ticket thing is really a fanboy award show. It's like the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just a bunch of, let me kiss your butt, you kiss my butt kind of. That's all it is, because it's always the same players that are always in the top 5. Once in a while, you get somebody new, but that's just how the golden tickets are. I mean, if you want a more accurate poll, I hate to say, but it's that Mitch Hawker poll. That's a more accurate poll than the golden tickets. Golden tickets it's always Dollywood, Disney, Cedar Point. It could be a Six Flags here and there. Knoebels. Yeah. It's always the same players that always win. It's never,
I've noticed that.
It's never any, everybody wants to vote. Even though there was an upset with favorite park. Cedar Point lost the crown.
Wow.
Last year. They lost the crown for best park or whatever. It won it for like 10 or 15 years or something.
Oh, yeah, I noticed. They had a very long running streak with that.
And then somebody came in and was like, bam, no more. I don't know who. I forgot what park it was. I don't think it's even one I've been to. So, yeah, they lost out. Yeah, we can share the rides. Exit pass. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep, I know.
You know what I'm thinking?
I know exactly what that is. I know exactly who that is, too.
Just by these two lines right here.
Yep, right there.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
And, yep.
But in any case, so yeah, that was, I mean, Nor'easter, New England went all out. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've always had fun at Nor'easters. Every one that I've been to, I always had fun. I've always had fun. Plus, it's good to, you haven't seen a lot of your Costa buddies in a while. You get everybody together, everybody's hanging out. It was good. So, with that being said, New England went all out, regardless. They wanted to show their product. They wanted to show the new ride. They did that and then some. They went above and beyond. I mean, plus there was almost 200 people. What, 194? Usually you get like 100 people, 75, 100 people.
Yep, there were a few that couldn't make it for one reason or another, but... Yep, I saw it.
He's an idiot. He really is. But regardless, it was definitely an awesome event. I had a lot of fun.
Yep, and also there were a couple of people, 2 people who actually got to attend for a first-time event, courtesy of yours truly, as my guests. And I don't know if he's watching the show, but shout out to Brandon Allen and his dad Keith, who were my guests at the event, and my friend Chad, who lives in Pittsfield, who went there, who brought his mom. He actually signed up as a member.
Did he?
Yep.
It's good that people.
Yep, and during one of the breaks, during one of the intermissions, I was actually talking to him during part of the event. I asked him what he thought about it, and he said he was enjoying it. It was very informative to him, and because he had been telling me through the forum on Facebook and whoever else. He'd been telling me for the last 2 seasons that he's been wanting to learn a lot of the inside stuff about what makes a ride tick, so to speak, for lack of a better way of putting it. And I said, dude, you got to go to one of these events, and then at least, if not, go to either one of these off-season events or go to an event where you get a backstage tour.
Yeah.
They'll teach you. They'll explain all that stuff to you.
Now, how about that banner going for $400?
That was ridiculous. And then to top it off, to add insult to injury, the one that went unsold ended up becoming a door prize.
I know. That was
a real kick in the ass.
Yeah, I know. That was, and you know who bought it, right?
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, Rob paid $400, and then he took a picture of it hanging on his wall. He better get that thing. He better get that thing framed for $400.
Yeah, really.
I can't believe, I could have seen maybe $150, going for the banner. 400.
Well, that send-off banner, yours truly snagged that one with my Dave Hester impression.
Oh, yeah, which banner did you get?
The one with the 80s send-off.
Oh, yeah, and you went, yep! I heard that.
At the last second.
I know you did it. He was getting ready. Soul going once, twice. Yep. And then you see the look Russ gave you?
Yep.
Oh no, not Russ. Mike Thompson.
Tom, yeah,
He was like, what? Okay. The hell, what? All right. So now that nor'easter, I'm gonna get into where I'm going to be Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to Fury 325 Media Day. That's where I will be next Wednesday. Not tomorrow, the following Wednesday. So I'm going to try and talk to the park, see if I can... I'm going to bring my chest harness.
Yep.
And my GoPro, make sure it's all charged up.
Yep.
And then try to get some type of POV or something of me on it.
Yep.
Whatever. So I will... So then that...
A legit one with the park's blessing, of course.
Yes. So that means... The next week's show, I'll probably be half asleep because we're going to be, as soon as we leave Media Day, it's a 10-hour ride back to Yonkers.
Yep.
And then I'm driving home.
Wow.
Well, actually, I'm probably just going to drive right to work by the time. Because if we leave at 3 o'clock, I'm getting in at Tony and May's house like 1, 2 o'clock.
Yep.
And then like 2-hour, 45-minute ride home. I'm better off just going to work and leaving work early. I'll be at work at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, maybe earlier. And then, so I'm going to have to get some sleep in the car.
Yep, you'll have to do the driving in shifts thing.
Well, usually the way it works is either Tony will drive out or vice versa. Either Tony or May will drive out and then the other one will drive back.
Yep.
That's how they, we stop. If somebody's getting tired, we get food, we stop. Sometimes somebody switches.
Yep.
So it should be all right. All right. So Dollywood. This weekend it opens. I finally get my coaster craving. I feel like a crackhead, and I need my fix. I need my coaster fix. I'm getting my coaster fix. Friday I'm going to be there in the morning. It's season pass preview day, so I get to ride there, and then I'll be there Saturday, Sunday. I'm going into Gatlinburg to get drunk and drive go-karts drunk. So I'm going to try and get a DUI in the go-karts. I'm going to try anyway.
On that note, we had a little bonus thing we did the day after, too.
Oh,
we went up to Okemo Mountain and got a bonus credit on their mountain coaster.
So you've at least ridden a coaster this year?
Yep, so actually I have already ridden something. I can't remember what the name of it is. Let me pull up my coaster counter and I will tell you.
And so anyway, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to drive out to
number 158.
Fury. What are you at?
158.
I'm at like 310 or something like that.
Okemo Mountain, Timber Ripper.
Timber Ripper. Sounds like a fart. Sounds like one of them.
It's actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yep. Although, we actually each took, the 5 of us actually each took 2 rides apiece. So, and...
How did Tina like it?
Yeah, she enjoyed it. Although, she was actually braking a bit to try to get the feel for it, so I had to keep slowing down behind her.
That sucks.
So, the second time around, she decided to go last.
Also, she could do...
Yep, so... And then, as soon as I got my second one out, I just pushed the lever all the way forward and let gravity do the work.
Yeah, I've ridden 2. I've ridden one in Gatlinburg.
Yep.
And I rode one in Pigeon Forge.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go do the new one. Goats on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go do that. We're going to drink lots of moonshine. And hopefully do some things tipsy. I'm hoping. Dolly Parton is there this weekend.
Wow.
She's always there opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think opening day or preview day. I don't know what day. She's there one of the days. So we're going to be doing that. So now let's get into some events. On April 18th, Jeepers, it's spring. The deadline is April 9th. It's at Six Flags America. Mm-hmm. It's if you get a season pass, it's $34 if you remember. Mm-hmm. You get food. There's Q&A. There's ERT on Raw and Cyclone. Which one's Cyclone there?
That I'm not sure.
Because that's what it said. That has to be a typo. Because I don't remember there being a coaster or a flat or anything called Cyclone.
At Six Flags Great America?
No, America in D.C.
Oh, Six Flags America.
I don't know what. I don't know what the hell.
No, there isn't one there that's named Cyclone there. There is, because there are two woods there, Roar and Wild One.
Yeah, I rode those. I know Raw's on the ERT list. I don't know what it says. Cyclone. I don't know what the hell Cyclone is.
Unless it's a flat ride.
Maybe.
Because I know they do have, Great Adventure has a roundup style ride that they call Tornado.
Yeah. And April 25th is Knoebel's opening day, but I also heard they're working on an event for that day.
Really?
I've heard that. With ERT, they're working with the park. May 2nd, Wooden Warrior Day at Quasi.
Yep.
Quasi.
Yep.
Quasi.
Yep.
Then May 16th to the 17th, Coaster Stock at Kings Island. If you
Yep.
don't have a pass, it's 62 beans.
Yep.
Then there is May 22nd to the 23rd. There's Fiesta Fest at Fiesta Texas Six Flags. And that's $25 if you get a season pass.
Yep.
If you want to go the next day, 23rd to the 24th, you can go to Schlitterbahn over there. And that's you can get the two events for $50 if you're an Ace member. That's not bad.
Right.
Let's see. The 28th to the 29th of May is Coaster Camp out at Cedar Point. There's still no flyers, still no pricing, still no info.
So we're still waiting on all that.
Yep. June 5th, Coaster Mania at Cedar Point. There is info.
Yep.
But this year, you have to register online. You cannot walk up to the door.
Wow.
So you have to do it all in advance. But I'm not going to that because I'm going to, on June 6th, Ace Dives at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Because you know there's going to be ERT on the garden, on the big garden project.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's interesting because I know because there was this big thing with this past Fall Con or something like that where they where one of them apparently didn't have any ERT, and from what I heard, apparently it's rather difficult to get with the Busch Gardens parks.
Well, no, because when I did the Christmas event, they had ERT on Revolta. No problems.
Well,
the event wasn't expensive. It was a fairly cheap event. I think Williamsburg is easy to work with, and Tampa is not.
So
because
that must have been it.
It's Florida. It's not. Florida's. They don't need coaster group. They don't need any coaster group because all those parks are a tourist destination.
Yep.
They're making money hand over fist.
Oh, yeah.
They don't need nobody.
They're open year round because of where they are too.
Yeah, where Williamsburg is going to work with the parks.
Yep.
And it's also another thing too. It's another trick of the trade when it comes to events. You need to have a relationship with the park.
Yep.
If you do not have a relationship with the park, you get nothing. That's why how Ace is now running the national events. The regional reps are handling most of it now.
Wow.
Then they go to the events committee and that's how events used to be.
So I take it that means Brett will likely be handling a lot of the details for Coaster Con.
Brett, Mark Davidson, and that guy David. I can't remember his last name. But they're working on Con.
Cool.
You know, then they report to the events director, and then the events director talks with the park as well.
Yep.
But the middlemen are the reps. They need that.
Yep.
Because I think they've learned from Fall Con that an events director. What is that guy in California going to do? Is he going to fly to Florida every week? You know what I mean? He doesn't know them. You need Florida reps involved because they have the relationship. But anyway, so Ace Dives, Busch Gardens, June 6th. June 19th starts the kickoff of Con. June 19th is Ace Day at Hershey Park. It's a Friday. Then on the 20th, this is where it kind of gets funky. From morning to afternoon is Ace Day at Dorney. At nighttime is Clementon Park.
Wow.
Same day. They're about 90 minutes away from each other.
Wow.
Then you have CoasterCon, June 21st to the 26th.
Actually, you've got that listed as being pre-con.
Yeah, it's pre-con at Clementon.
Yep.
Then the 21st to the 26th is CoasterCon. You're going to have Great Adventure, Storybookland, and Maury's Pier. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I'm looking more forward to Maury's than anything else. I love Maury's.
This will be our first time there.
It's such a unique place. And when you have time, did you book your hotel around there yet?
I haven't done that yet. I'm actually looking into a couple of different options because
There is camping around there.
I know there are 2 campgrounds right near there. I've actually camped at one of them.
Oh, have you?
Yep, Tip Tam.
Now, I'm going to give you some advice about Maury's Pier. And everybody out there, try to find time to actually walk a lot of the boardwalk.
Mm-hmm.
Try to find, especially nighttime, it's a totally atmosphere from daytime to nighttime. It's like 2 different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
It's all lights and like a Coney Island at night. It's cool. What else we got? We got the day after con at Casino Pier, Seaside Screams. Then there is on the 28th, Luna Park Fest 5. Now, if you're looking to go to Coney, just say, I don't know what your plans are after con.
Yep.
And, you know, if you got the dough for like $60 each,
Mm-hmm.
you get a lot. It's like, to get that would probably cost you $200-300 a person.
Wow.
Because think about, I did it last year. I got 5 rides on Thunderbolt. It's $10 a ride.
Wow.
$50 right there.
Yep.
A 4-hour wristband or whatever
Mm-hmm.
is $30, $40, $50.
Yep.
They gave you 2 rides on Cyclone. That's $9 a piece, plus 2 more rides on a card for the Thunderbolt.
Mm-hmm.
And that we also paid like $10 extra, and we got 1 ride on the Ferris wheel there, Dino's Wonder Wheel, and 2 hours on all Dino's rides
Wow.
for $10. 1 ride on the Ferris wheel is like $6, $7, $8, something like that. So you're getting a good deal for the amount of money. And that's all the events we're going to cover for today. A lot of the all the con stuff. There's no flyer. None of the pre-events or after events. There's no flyer.
Yeah, so apparently that rumor that we heard on Saturday about it coming out today apparently was either not true or it was exaggerated.
Or it could possibly come out. The day's not over.
Mm-hmm.
It's just after 10 o'clock. It's possible that it comes out.
So in other words, it could come out overnight and we'll see it in the morning.
Correct. You could see that. Because they were in the proofing stage.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody knows. I'm hoping that it is what it is. The Schlitterbahn passport, we got an East Coast, they were giving them away. The passport, it looks like a fake passport.
Yep.
There's a barcode inside. When you go to any Schlitterbahn park, you get it once for free.
Yep.
At all their parks.
Yep.
You go to that and then they stamp it like a passport. That's
Yep.
what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Ace Day at SFNE and SFNE Online Day is the same day.
Yep.
It's July 11th.
Yep.
That's the same day, and Costa Crew has
Costa Crew is
because the
will
big
be
thing,
involved in
it's
that,
got
too.
like Amazon or
It's
something.
a park-sponsored event, so
Yeah.
it's a park-sponsored event, so they're inviting all the major Costa groups.
Yeah, plus us.
Well,
Because
so
I
figure.
had asked Six Flags. I said, hey, we want to do an SFNE Online Day,
Mm-hmm.
like we did a few years ago.
Yep.
I said, we want to do one again.
Yep.
And she's like, all right. She said, remind her November 1st.
Mm-hmm.
When, after that, when the park closed.
Yep.
Because sometime after that, they start holding their meetings
Mm-hmm.
for all their events for people that want events.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I announced it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the day that they responded back to me and said, hey, here's 2 dates, pick one.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked one. Well, I picked one.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, hey, you know what? That sounds good.
Yep.
I mean, the only bad thing is it's right after con,
Mm-hmm.
and it's right before the England trip.
It's a couple of days. It's a couple of weeks after con.
Yeah. So it's right around England and con.
Yep.
So some people might be too broke to get out there. And
If they're going to the UK thing, I'm
Yeah.
not doing that.
No, did you see
That's-
how much that cost?
Yep, that's
And the
way
deadline
too rich for my
closed
blood.
yesterday. $2,500 for the whole trip.
Yeah, too rich for my blood.
But anyways, we're gonna get going.
Not quite yet.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do the hot mess. I forgot
yep.
about the hot mess.
As many of you know, anybody who has not been living under a rock knows that a couple of months ago, yes, the New England Patriots, they won the Super Bowl in quite a nail biter of a second half of a game, particularly in the closing moments of the fourth quarter. Now, in those closing moments, many of you know that we were holding on to the lead, but then Seattle had the ball, and then when Malcolm Butler stepped up and intercepted a pass in the end zone to deny the Seahawks a touchdown and give us back the ball in those closing moments, which then allowed us to pretty much seal the victory. But then apparently during the few plays that were afterwards, Apparently, some words were exchanged between Patriots and Seahawks players, and one Seahawks player, linebacker Bruce Irvin, sucker punched tight end Rob Gronkowski from the Patriots, and not only getting a penalty and also being the first player to be ejected from a Super Bowl game. I did find out later on he was fined $10,000 for that, which personally I think should have been more because that was a not only particularly violent, but definitely uncalled for in that type of situation, especially where in either a playoff game or a Super Bowl game, a Patriots player got fined $15,000 for making a snow angel after a touchdown.
Yeah, I know. It should have been reversed.
Yep.
That's because, you know what, though? Not to interrupt you, but Goodell, as a commissioner, sucks. Mm-hmm. He is probably the worst commissioner. He's dropped the ball on so many things. But anyway, continue.
So, in the words of my favorite former radio jock, Baltazar, formerly from Hot 96.9 in Boston, who I hope gets back into Boston radio soon, for the sucker punch that started the Super Bowl skirmish, I, DJ Legend, hereby declare to Seattle Seahawks linebacker Bruce Irvin, you are a hot mess!
Woo! It was not deflated. No. I call no on deflate.
Absolutely not.
Actually, that deflate gate is not an
issue.
issue.
That thing has been debunked so many times, it's not funny.
That's why you're never gonna hear anything about it. Well, actually, no. I think there's a hearing this month.
Mm-hmm.
Belichick talked about it. I think on who's the guy? I've got to get my brain checked. The dude that's leaving late night talk show on CBS or whatever. The old guy.
Oh.
That's still there. He's been there forever.
So many of them I can't think of which one.
What the hell's his name? The late show with the guy with the glasses, the old guy. He got caught banging some chick when he was married.
Conan?
No. Oh, what the hell's his name? Well, anyway, he was on that show, and Belichick kind of said something about, we'll find out when the hearing in March. So, I don't know. Well, anyways, it's 10:15.
Yep, I think we can wrap it up now.
Yeah. David Letterman. There it is. David Letterman.
Yep.
All right, that's the show.
I thought he already retired years ago.
No, he's leaving, I think, this year. And then I forgot who the hell's... Jon Stewart, I think, is taking over for him, I think.
Interesting.
Somebody is.
Yeah.
It might not even be him. It could be somebody else.
Yeah, one thing I remember on that note there is something I remember seeing on some of David Letterman's shows as a kid. And you can actually find some of these clips on YouTube here and there. When he was doing his show in New York, as opposed to being in LA now, he had a couple of segments where basically there were a couple of segments of creative ways of destroying things. One of the funniest one that I can think of is when he was crushing things with a hydraulic press.
All right, well, I'm your host, Dr. Giggles.
Along with DJ Legend.
And we will be back next Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday. I'll be all tired and dying from my trip, but I will be here next Thursday, 9 p.m.
Eastern Daylight
Standard Time. I call it Standard Time. He calls it Daylight Time. But anyways, I'll be back 9 o'clock next week. You guys have fun. Whoever goes to Dollywood, I will see you. If not, stay warm, stay safe, try to ride something. The opening day's coming soon. How many days? You got the time. Get the counter out.
Countdown. We have 24 days, 12 hours, and 14 minutes until opening time at Six Flags New England.
All right. So, until next Thursday, keep on coasting. Woo! Didn't do it. There we go.